Okay. Hi, everybody, and thanks for joining this first parallel webinar. My name is Yanis Katsaros, and I'll be doing the speaking today, and my colleague Tomai is going to be doing all the authoring. Just to make sure that everybody's in the right place, we'll be talking about first parallel. This is a software framework that enables design industry professionals and game enthusiasts to create, debug, publish, and monitor mixed reality location-based mobile games. What we will be doing today is we will be showing you some of the features of the core part of the first parallel authoring tool. We will try to fit everything in a 30-minute demo, and you will have the chance to see the tool in action. We will also be showing you what the published version of the game looks like on a mobile, and we will finish with any questions that you may have. To avoid stopping the session and speaking on top of each other, if at any point you have a question, just type it in the chat window, and we'll try to address as many as we can in the end. One favor that we have to ask is that at the end of the demo, I'll be sending a link to a little survey. These are just 10 questions that we want people to answer at the end of the demo, and it will take no longer than 4 or 5 minutes for you guys to answer. But it's really important that we get your response and your feedback. This is what this is all about. One final remark is that we will be recording this session, and we will make it available to everybody via a web link. So what we're doing today is we're going to be creating a mobile game for kids. The theme of the game is going to be about dragons, and by creating this simple game in the next 15 or 20 minutes, we would like to show you some of the main capabilities of the first parallel platform. The concept of the game is that the kids will have to help the dragon mother gather all the dragon eggs that are hidden in various locations on the game map and bring them back to her. We will be placing 3 eggs in 3 locations, and the players will have to bring back all 3 eggs back to the location of the mom. The game we'll create today will be taking place outdoors here in London, in Hyde Park, and we will, in the end, we will show you what the game graph of the outdoor game looks like. And after the authoring is complete, we'll show you a little indoor version as well for those rainy days. So on with the authoring. So we'll start by creating a game project. Give it a name. And we'll give it also a starting location here in Hyde Park. And we can now start. So just a little orientation of what you have in front of you. On the left, you have the selection editor. So all the main building blocks of the game can be configured in that box. In the middle, you have where the game graph will be located. So all the major building blocks that will help you put together your game will be located in the game graph, in the scenario box. The little green button indicates the start of the game. The red button indicates the end of the game. At the bottom, you've got your asset library. So any assets that you want to bring into the game can be dropped in the asset library and can be used for the game. And on the right, you have your various views. So you have your author view, where the main part of the editing takes place. And you also have the mobile view, where you can essentially see whatever the players are going to be seeing. So it's like a little emulator. So we are located in Hyde Park, and we are going to start creating the various interaction zones of the game. So remember, we'll have 4 zones: one for the game, for the Dragon Mother, and 3 for the 3 eggs that the players need to find. So there's the blue zone is the zone of the Dragon Mom. Green zone is the location of the first egg. The second egg. And the third one. So we can assign different colors to differentiate between the zones. And we can start with introducing the first assets into the game. So first we want to have an intro screen so that players can be introduced in the game and get in the mood of the game. What we've done here is we have pre-configured some QML activities. So one activity is one of the main building blocks of the first parallel authoring platform. And we have used some very simple QML code to put together the first screen. All the graphics assets that you will see during this demo are assets that we found on the web. So none of the assets that you will see is our own creation. So that includes all the graphics for the various screens of the game, as well as the AR assets, the augmented reality assets. So this is our intro screen. We connect it to the beginning of the game, and we're going to introduce one more where the players are going to be given some basic instructions. So there you have the Dragon Mom introducing the kids to the game, and one more giving them the basic concept of the game. So players need to find the first egg and bring it back. So as the instructions of the game mentioned, the first egg is located in the forest. So the first interaction activity that we're going to be building is once the players are in the zone of the first egg, we are going to trigger a 360 degree photograph activity, where the players are going to try to locate the egg in that virtual forest by rotating their phone around and trying to locate that little image of the egg. So again, the 360 degree image of the forest is something that we got off the web. So, and we are now going to position the egg in the forest somewhere. We're going to create a button for that so that we can create the interaction. There's the first egg. And the little orange box that you see there is essentially a condition. So unless the player is located in the green zone, the next activity does not begin. So there you have the first interaction. Remember, the players have to return to the zone where the Dragon Mother is located. So now that they have the first egg, the Dragon Mom congratulates them on reclaiming the first egg, and they are going to be on their way to finding the second egg. For that, we've created a little slideshow that says that the egg is about to hatch. So the kids have to run back to the location of the mother before the egg hatches. So there's another QML activity of the little egg hatching. And a message from the mom that the kids found the second egg. Now for the last activity, we are going, the concept of the game is that the third egg has hatched already, and the little dragon is flying around the dragon mom. So there you have the message. So players have to run back to the zone where the dragon mom is in order to trigger the last activity of the game, the AR activity. We are going to start by positioning the 3D asset of the dragon in the location of the zone of where the mom is supposed to be located, and we are going to use the authoring tool to calibrate the asset in terms of orientation, altitude, size, etc. And to just make it a bit more fun, we are going to have it circle around the heads of the players. So for that, we're going to create a little flying route, a little flying path. And we're going to associate the 3D asset with the flying path that we've just created, and tell the game that the dragon will be flying in a loop in that path. Thomas just added the condition so that last AR activity is triggered only after the players are back in the zone where we intend them to be. And he also connected the output of the AR activity to the end of the game. So this is it. I mean, we've created a little mobile game with 3 interaction points and 4 zones. And what we're going to do next is we're going to be showing you what the game looks like in the mobile. So for that reason, we've created a slightly different version of the game to show you the indoor capabilities. So the concept is that rather than having the activities triggered by the location, by the player being in the predefined zones, we wanted to recreate that without the need of GPS. So the activities, all the activities in the game are triggered by NFC. So as you move into the various virtual locations in the game map, the different activities are triggered via NFC. So This is a screencast of a mobile where the indoor version of the game is. So you've got your start screen again, and you can begin with the first messages from the mom. So this is the map that we've created. So imagine that the NFC tags can be placed anywhere indoors. And for the first one, we are going to try to locate the NFC tag where the egg is and trigger the 360 image activity and try to locate the egg. There it is. So clicking on the egg triggers the next message. To make it a bit more interesting for the indoor version, what we've done is we did a little gyro activity. So the players have to hold the phone upright and avoid the egg moving too much or falling off. So have to be careful when returning the egg. Careful, Thomas. There it is. So for the next one, we need to bring the egg closer to the volcano where it's a bit warmer and will help the egg to hatch. So we'll locate the NFC tag where the volcano is. And we're going to bring back a torch. So the concept here is that we use the accelerometer of the phone and try to bring back the torch slowly so that it doesn't extinguish. So slowly bring the torch back to the Dragon Mom. And now that it's hatched, we can watch the little dragon. Oh, sorry, has to hatch, and then we can watch the last part of the game with the AR activity where the dragon is flying around the room. So there you have it. Great. Thanks a lot, Thomas. This is the map that we've created, and we want to be distributing in the near future with the Little Dragon game. So you've got all the NFC tags that are associated with the various locations of the game, and this completes this short webinar of the first parallel platform. So if there are any questions, I'd be happy to take them via the chat window. So feel free to ask anything related to the platform. If you're on a landline, please unmute yourselves and let us know of any questions that you might have. So one question from Amazing Mixed Media Minds: in what format do you export the final game? So the publishing takes place in APK format, And in the next month or so, it will also be in the iOS format as well. So for the time being, the demo that you saw is in APK, but we are currently completing the work that will be outputting in iOS format as well. Another question is, what kind of planning or prototyping would you do before you build this? If you are referring to the game itself, it's just the purpose of the first parallel platform is that we can validate a game scenario pretty quickly. So if you're referring to the game, the answer is the intention is that we don't need any prototyping or planning. If you are referring to the HTML or QML activities, this is up to the person who is authoring the game. These can be as complex or simple as you want them to be. We even offer some basic templates for people that don't have any coding skills and they just want to test out a scenario. So one of the intended USPs is that people will be able to prototype and come up with proofs of concept fairly quickly. So that's why we try to stay away from complex coding and stay with a few basic building blocks. So another question is, what program do you use to create the QML assets? The answer there is your favorite QML or HTML editor. There's no real restriction there. As long as the output is in QML or HTML code, you can bring in the assets in the asset library and start using them straight away. Another question is, what file formats are allowed or preferred for the 3D models and animations? The ones that you saw, I think, are OBJ files, but maybe Thomas can answer the question, because this is a longer list of asset types.
Yanis, so I don't have the exhaustive list here, but we support all the basic standard formats, so like OBJ and Collada, and we also have some other specific importers.
Great.
As for the animations, for the Dragon Ear, they are embedded in the model, but we could also use animations that are embedded with other formats.
Thanks, Thomas. What's the pricing tier for the software, and is it only available for Windows? We're not there yet. So the purpose is to gather the feedback that the early users are going to have, and think about taking their money later on. So for the time being, once we are happy with our beta version, we will be releasing demo licenses to people that are interested in using the tool. And we will be thinking about pricing at a later stage. So everybody who was in this webinar today automatically qualifies for a demo license once our private beta is available, and we'll see how we get on from there. Is it only available for Windows? For the time being, yes. But part of the MVP, our private beta release, is to have an iOS version available. But I can't give you an exact date for that, because this is work in progress. So another question is, would you use this tool instead of a games engine? We don't want to compete with games engines. We intend First Parallel to be more like an orchestration mechanism for people that have assets or have the mechanism to produce assets. Our intention is not to compete with the likes of Unity. This is a way to put together elements that can be useful to create a nice-looking mobile game, like location-enabled assets, AR activities, 360 media, that sort of thing, without using complicated code. So I hope this answers the question. So is this a game engine? The answer is no. Where in the production pipeline does this tool fit? As I said earlier, we want our users to be able to create quick prototypes. That's why we, let's say the first positioning market-wise of the authoring tool will be to target creative agencies. And the reason being that we hope that people that need have a customer pitch to do, or are trying to win over a new customer, they will be able to not just go to them with a couple of slides, but with also a proof of concept of what they think they will be creating for them. So quick prototyping to get people's interest, and then once they do, they can still use the authoring tool to create a full-blown, more elaborate game. So the short answer to the question is anywhere between prototyping all the way to full-blown deployment. Maybe it would be worth adding here that for the MVP, we are planning to abstract from our users the complexity of using commodity cloud infrastructures. So no more scaling up as your user base grows. We will be taking care of that for them. So anything between having a standalone demo on your mobile all the way to speaking to a user base of several thousand users, First Parallel will be able to take care of that. Another question, are you going to publish the assets you used in the demo? Yes, we could. They're public domain anyway. So yes, we could maybe not publish them, but send them to the people that are interested in having them. Any more questions from either from the people on computers or on landlines? Will there be a dedicated First Parallel app for sharing your demos in the future? The intention is to share the packages via our website. So look out for the APKs and the iOS installers on the website. Okay, I think we're spot on 30 minutes. So if there are no more questions, I would humbly ask you to complete our little survey, which is going to appear on your chat windows now. And I would like to thank everybody for joining, and I hope you enjoyed this First Parallel webinar. Thanks very much.